Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're back here on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. I tell you, I'm just honored that you're here. I'm just honored to be here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mary D. Welch, and you are here at the Mary D. Show. Every Monday, 1 o'clock, not just 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock live. We're just honored to have you here. For those of you that would, if you would go to YouTube, you can like and subscribe on YouTube, and we really would appreciate that because that way you'll know every time that we go live, you get a notification, and that makes it so much easier. I like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, today, what we have today is this beautiful, beautiful lady. Her name is Connie. I'm telling those of you that may or may not know her. I said may or may not know her. Her name is Connie King. She is the founder of the Black America Resource Directory. This woman, I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is fabulous. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a mother. And what happened was she got disillusioned with the lack of resources that she found that she was looking for a family member. She went to Google and she looked and she couldn't find the resource she was looking for. She's like, wait a minute, how can it be that I go to Google and Google doesn't have the answer? And it didn't. And then because the person needed some help with substance abuse. And I think we can all relate to that. What happened to her, it became quite clear that the online resources she sought were non-existent. So she became she is a lifelong advocate for the Black community. So she was inspired to become part of a solution that she hopes will have long-lasting effects and serve to make the lives of many Black mothers better. Connie founded the Black American Resource Directory, an online platform containing services nationwide to help address problems pertaining to social services, humanitarian assistance, business, and even wealth building opportunities. Aside from the resources, Connie's hope is that the website will foster the curating and uplifting of the Black experience in America. This virtual environment is supported by a network of experienced, knowledgeable professionals, business and organizations, all of whom specialize in serving the Black community. This is her quote: helping a community with an emphasis on Black mothers, access to resources that address the needs of our unique experiences has been a lifelong passion. I am inspired knowing that we are providing a directory that can help transform the way the Black community connects. Connie King, founder of Black American Resource Directory. I'd like to welcome our guest today, Connie King. There she is. Hi, Connie.
Well, hello. Hi, everyone. I want to say thank you so much, Mary, for the opportunity to use the platform to share with your audience and your guests the importance of having something that looks like us, that is for us.
Right.
As you had so eloquently put it, I was faced with a crisis. My son, 23 years of age, I had sent him to college in Arizona, and he did not complete it, only to come back home 2.5 years ago, and admittedly had been using drugs. As a single parent, never faced with anything like this before in my entire life. But knowing my son, knowing who his father and I had raised and what we had instilled in him, knowing that this was not him.
Right.
And that's kind of like where I started my quest. How am I going to help him?
Right.
How am I going to help me and the family deal with this particular situation?
Well, let's do this before we go, because I know we're going to definitely get into the directory, but you have a history too. So how is it that you have come to this? In other words, there's probably there's things that drew you into creating this, because it didn't exist before you, but you also told me there was a tugging at your heart. Where's your history? Where'd you?
Well, I grew up in South Central. I don't know if it was South Central when I was there. I think it was just Los Angeles. But I grew up on 88th in Vermont.
Okay.
Went to Catholic school, graduated from Washington High School, and pursued a career in sociology in that field. I was a parole officer for California Youth Authority for 6 years.
Okay.
And so I always kind of had a helping type of
Mhm.
spirit,
Right.
fix it, as my significant other would say, you're a fix it person.
Ah.
And that had led me to, right after Rodney King, the incident with the Rodney King beating, to start a nonprofit called Passages to Success. And I think that that's
Mm.
kind of where everything, as far as my um, social entrepreneurship, kind of was
Sorry.
born out of that, as a result of that. And we ran that program for 10 years. The emphasis was on uh, youth who were at risk, interested in math and science. We sent a couple of students to Space Camp in Huntsville, Alabama. We worked closely with the Coleman McNair Foundation as well so as Rockwell,
Okay.
doing some student interns. And I did that up until I relocated to the Inland Empire in 2005, and just pretty much just kind of worked and raised my son and did what I
Mhm.
had to do at that particular time.
All right. Well, I know too. You mentioned as we had talked a few days ago that the you were looking for the resources for the actual act of looking for them for to help for your son, and you wanted someone who was African American to work with him. That was very important to you, or a black professional to do that, and not to be able to find that. That had
Correct,
been very frustrating for you. Very.
correct. And as you had alluded to, when I typed in help for my son, there were
Mhm.
actually 17 million results that appeared on Google. And
Whoa.
I'm like, well, all I need is one. I don't need 17 million. It
Right.
literally took me about 4 days to identify the type of resource, one that would take our insurance and that was specific to my son's need.
Right.
After Brother Floyd was killed, I was listening to a program, Lester Holt and
Mhm.
Sarah, I forget her last name now, but she was interviewing a couple who had just relocated. They were having some challenges. They had a new baby. Everything was kind of new and kind
Mhm.
of topsy
Right.
turvy here.
Uh huh.
And they went in search of a Black mental health therapist in their area, and they couldn't find it. And I was like, wow, that's the same experience that I had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were exposing this on nationwide television. And in the same segment, there was a
Uh-huh.
Black mental health therapist who had just opened up her practice and she was looking for patients. So we looked at what could we do as far as providing resources for
Mhm.
Black Americans,
Right.
by Black Americans, for Black
Mhm.
Americans. And that was when the resource directory was born
Oh.
out of that.
Well, now I know. Now, what year did that happen? Was that
This is 2020. This was
okay?
2020.
You just
And
said
and
okay.
and as I mentioned to you, my goal was to retire in 4 years. It was like I do not want another project. I had just started the project with the nonprofit. I had
Mhm.
ran a business for
Right.
18 years. I did celebrity weddings. So I want to wind down.
Yeah.
But as I continued to try and kind of just ignore the calling, it
Uh-huh.
kept intensifying,
Yes.
it kept getting greater and greater and bigger and bigger. And I took some notes and talked to a couple of people, and
Mm-hmm.
they themselves had had difficulties in
Mm-hmm.
trying to go on the internet, which is a great tool, but
Right.
there was no demographics specific just for Black Americans, and that's the whole basis of us starting,
Right.
so that when users come to look, they know that if they're looking for a Black doctor or a Black mental health therapist or food and housing, any of those type of resources, that they can find them on the Black America Resource Directory
Well,
website.
I applaud you because I know how hard it is to start. Anytime you're going from infancy and to get an organization up and going. That's I mean, it's no doubt there's a need. And someone told me not too long ago, when you see a need, that's why it's for you, because everybody does not recognize that. Because, like you said, they were mentioning this on national TV, but people still were not putting the pieces together, that there was a missing link of how these people were not able to connect. And
Correct.
you recognize that, so
Well,
that's
you know what? The one thing that you're saying is so true, because as I talked to family and friends when it
Mhm.
was still just an idea,
Right.
what I kept hearing over and over again is that there's nothing like this that's out here,
That's
and
right.
there's a need for
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
we didn't want to be all over the place. Our
Right.
main focus and our niche is to provide resources. And the type of resources, if you go on the website, I invite your guests to go on the website, blackamericaresourcedirectory.com.
Mm-hmm.
You have access to over 474,000. And I know it appears to be a lot. However, you can identify based on your zip code. There are programs that are listed on there that you can click the filter for ethnicity, and it would take you either to African American, Asian American, Hispanic American, Native Americans. So we have that capability to also expand the directory into other ethnic communities as well. And that's kind of like maybe our 2 to 3 year goal in order to develop websites in which other ethnic communities, because we know that our community is diverse. We know
Right.
that there may be different ethnic groups within one family
Right.
nowadays. So we had a couple, and they were grandparents
Mm-hmm.
of a interracial granddaughter. Their daughter was Caucasian, the son was
Mm-hmm.
African American, but the daughter had sickle cell anemia, and they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
learn more about sickle cell. So they went on the site to see if there was information that they can learn and educate themselves about their granddaughter. So we know that it has a broader platform as well.
Right. Well, without a doubt, even when I was first introduced to it, all I kept thinking was, I don't think I've ever been able to do that. Go to one place and I'm just being to say that everybody on this particular platform, like there's no doubt in my mind that person is African American, and they're not that. And I don't think you're trying to say that anyone who isn't is not serving the Black community. I think
Correct.
if you want to go to someone that is, we're providing you an opportunity to do that.
Correct. Correct.
Because I
Correct.
think people want to, we
Correct.
think it's just giving the people an option. You have a choice. Where before they didn't have one, I don't think. What?
Correct. Well, none, you know what? There were resources, but the resources were mainly for businesses. So
Mm,
even when I went in search and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't stepping on somebody else's toes
right,
or,
right,
competing in a manner where, if I needed just to support and help them, I
right.
can do that. But as I typed in resources for Black America or Black America resources, they came up with businesses. And
Right.
although we do have a section on there that
Mhm.
has a business platform, the main goal is to provide the resources in those particular areas whether or not if it's food and housing or shelter or child care. If you go on there, like I said, you'll have about 12 different categories that you can just type your zip code in and hopefully find the resource that you need. If not, we still have an email in which you can submit a request to us, and then we can do a little bit further researching on that. The one thing I wanted to point out,
Yes.
Mary, is that we have paired with Charity Navigator, and Charity Navigator is a platform in which we vet these resources. So we don't want just any resource on there that's not compliant, that their 501c3 is not up to date, or maybe they've had some challenges internally. So we use it as kind of a vetting process as well, just to make sure that those that we're posting are legit.
All right, that's good to know too. That is good to know. And then I know too. Now there's also doctors. If someone's looking for a doctor, or not just also therapists. Some people, I've heard people say they have a hard time finding a Black doctor.
Correct. And one of the things that we're doing now, because we just launched December the 1st. So we're still kind of like in our infancy state. What we're doing now, we have built part of our database with Black doctors. So like Vine's medical group, they're all Black doctors. So we've added them onto our nationwide platform. So if you go under and click under the health tab on our website, we're building that base now, in addition to the resources, now to add the professional services. So we invite individuals, if you're viewing the show today and you're a Black doctor, or know a Black doctor, or Black mental health therapist, Black lawyer, we even have Black cardiologists, Black sociologists. It's also that we've added to the platform.
That's wonderful. I think I know too, teachers. I don't know that. I mean, it could be tutors. It could be.
Oh, yeah, educated. Definitely. Definitely.
We covered those bases.
Definitely. And you know what? I would look at it, Mary, from a perspective of, if you provide a service, if you are a professional license, if you have an idea of like what we have, if you have a show, the platform is there for all of us to be able to use, and there's space available to put and to promote us as individuals, as Black Americans.
And to support us is what that's a blessing. It gives an opportunity for people to support, because you'll hear people say, like as you said yourself, they had a hard time locating people.
Yes.
Because of we're all over the world, obviously, but when you're looking for someone for a specific thing, you want to be able to find that person.
Definitely. With the click of a button. Because sometimes the situation may not call for an immediate need. We do have 800 numbers. One of the things that I took into consideration, I called an 800 number, and they told me to leave my name and my number, and that somebody would get back to me. And I said, wait a minute, you're a hotline. So how am I supposed to leave my name and number at a hotline? That's something that it should be immediate, that, you should get the services or the help that you need. So again, we wanted to make sure that who we were listing, that we called them to make sure that they were still in operation. Those that weren't, that had, sometimes you can go to a page and it'll say not found. There's something wrong with maybe the internet or something of that nature. And again, we're using that vetting process in order to make sure that our resources and professional services are viable.
Right. We have Jeanette, and she left some emojis, but she also left a comment. So thank you for that, Jeanette. And people, I think you have, It's Facebook and YouTube, and I don't know where. Oh, I think it's a YouTube comment that they're leaving. And thank you. Anybody can leave messages, and we'll try and definitely put them on the screen. So we appreciate that. I just appreciate the fact that that you would not let this go, even though you wanted to let it go.
Yes. And it kept tugging, and it kept tugging.
I'm so glad.
And as you can imagine, there were times where you hit some roadblocks, and there were some disappointing times.
Yes.
There was some victory.
Yeah.
But if you sit back and kind of listen to Spirit's going to guide you and direct you
Right.
in the footsteps, and that's the one thing that I did ask. If this is something that I'm supposed to be doing, I will go ahead and answer the call. But I'm going to need some help here. I'm going to need some direction and some people like Miss Mary D. Welsh that allows me and invited me to share the information, because now it's a matter of trying to get the word out that we exist. And that's the part that we're working on now. We are on Instagram.
Okay.
We are on Facebook, so we do have a Facebook page. We are vamping up our LinkedIn as well, so as our Twitter, like I said, so we can reach more people, and let them know that the website exists. The Black News Channel, if you do get a chance to visit the site, did an interview with us back in December, which one of the anchor women on the show had actually also said, "Hey, I went in search of a Black doctor and I couldn't find one." So I'm so glad that you have this platform.
Oh, I did. I watched the video. It was a very nice interview, by the way. And when she said that, when she was affirming why you need it, I was really, she was saying what, like I said, what other people have said. She said, "I'm one of those people."
Exactly.
Oh, I thought that was really good. And I'd heard of the news channel, but your interview was the first time I had seen the channel. But I will definitely be going back to that news channel. Yeah, definitely. But I just that just a place where people can support, just a place where they don't have to go. I think what we've done before, and I can speak for myself, is word of mouth.
Yes, exactly. So,
and that's how we've been able to kind of maneuver, but we're beyond that now. The technology is beyond that now. So there's no reason why you can't use the technology to our advantage.
And you know what, Mary, we also realized I didn't have to go look for a Black resource directory because there was no need at the time. I didn't need it at the time. But when I needed it, I did have friends who had maybe some challenges with either their spouse or their children or whomever, that I could have easily referred them to. Say, "Oh, well, did you hear about the Black America Resource Directory?" And could have pointed them in that direction as well. But again, it didn't exist. So now people that I know, it may not be you specifically, but it may be, hey, my neighbor down the street, or maybe a coworker's son, or a cousin, or someone that you either share the information with about the directory, that can assist them as well. We're noticing that people, our demographics in our area, are looking for food and housing. That's where the numbers are increasing the most, food and shelter, here in the Inland Empire area. So we have ways to kind of track that information, make sure we get back to our local officials and say, "Wait a minute, these are the number of people that are coming to our site looking for food and shelter. What are you guys doing?"
Well, that's big. And then you can keep some type of database.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, analytics, definitely.
So people can know that, like you said, you're not just making this up. This is telling you that people are reaching out to us.
Exactly.
There is a need.
We had the opportunity to show the site to Chuck Washington, Supervisor Chuck Washington. He's the supervisor for the 2nd District. I think his area is Temecula, Marietta, Menifee, that area. And he was like, wow, we're so amazed. So we're reporting back the numbers to Chuck Washington's office, because that's who we have the relationship with now. And we're saying, okay, then we know we have 5 different supervisors that are in the Inland Empire area, and each one of them have a district. So hopefully, we can go ahead and circle back around with them as well and provide them with the same information.
I think it's just wonderful that people know that they can reach out to you, that
Definitely.
they know that you're a resource. They know that you can help them, whatever it is, whatever the need is.
And in the case of the young lady who had opened up her practice, she was looking for patients. Now, she didn't specify just Black patients. She just said, hey, I just started my practice. I'm a mental health therapist, so I'm looking for patients. So it can be a benefit both ways, where they know that there's a professional platform that in which they feel comfortable that they can list, their services on a platform and still reach their audience for people of interest.
I like they said, when I think we first connected, I was excited. The first time when I saw it, I said, I was the first thing I said, I didn't know this existed. That was the first, I think
Yes.
I was just so excited to have a place, just to know that it existed, and where that you're on the community, that you're giving people, just the fact that I'm just so glad that you gave into it and didn't stop.
Yes. Yeah. I couldn't. I couldn't if I wanted to, because it'll wake you up in the middle of the night and have you writing down a note, or reminding yourself to call somebody. It was like, I tried. I did. I really tried. I was like, nope.
Well, I'm glad you did, because that tugging was saying that it was definitely necessary, without a doubt. And we had let me see, it was Shelley that came on. Thank you for your comments, ladies. And I believe Beverly just came on, and we have there we go. I want to make sure their comments that they show on the screen. So thank you. Anybody that leaves a comment, we definitely try to bring your comment. But and this, like you said, especially housing, that's I don't even know what to say. Our oldest son said, "Mom, in California, you guys pay for the air."
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is his. He said you pay for the air in California, and he doesn't live here. But he says it because the cost of living is so high.
The cost,
just housing, just to it's just gotten so. And I don't see it going down. That's the only thing. I don't see it, diminishing as time goes on. It's just
well, the good news, after finally finding help for my son, he spent the last 2.5 years going through the EMT program. Unfortunately, he didn't pass the test, but the lessons that he learned when he came back home at 23, dedication, motivation, focus, having a plan, those kind of things. And where now, hey, he's working, he just bought a brand new car, but we're talking about the same thing now about, hey, moving out in June, and we're looking at $2,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment almost, in some areas. So the housing is definitely something that it's kind of a lack of, they're saying, in certain communities. You have 10 applicants for, one place. So that is a challenge for us.
It is. And I don't know what the answer is. That's, you know, I guess, like I often say, if I knew the answer, I'd be a multimillionaire. I don't know these. How do these things? I don't know. How do we balance this? I mean, 2,000 a month for a lot of people, that's their salary a month.
Yes,
And so you're asking them to. So basically, in a one bedroom, they can't eat and can't pay their bills.
exactly. Exactly.
That doesn't.
Exactly.
So, or you live in a neighborhood where you may not feel safe.
Yes.
You don't
Yes.
want to live like that. I
But
don't have the answers.
but you know what I'm finding out, Mary?
What's that?
There's a lot of information that we just don't have access to. There are programs that are out there that will help with either renter's assistance or paying bills or
Mhm.
providing phones. This is also additional information that
Right,
we're posting on the platform because it's there, but again, it's the need. The information about mental health and drug use and all that, that was on the Google, it was just that I didn't need it at the time. And when I needed it, it was 17 million results. And there was nothing specific where I would feel comfortable for me and my son to
right,
go and see a therapist that didn't look like us or know
hmm
what it was that we needed from
right,
that perspective, you know.
right.
So,
What I tell know too, if someone is looking, let's say it's a young person, they want to go to school, and there any information about scholarships they're listed?
there's information about scholarships, there's information about sororities. If you go and look
Come
under the
on, Connie,
nation,
come
if you look under the nationwide resources,
on. Uh huh.
under education, youth and education, you will
Uh
find several. And again, we're building it up. So we may not have 17 million, but we
Right,
may have a couple of hundred. At
right,
least they're nationwide and they can type in your zip codes. But and what we're trying to do, just because we know that there's a 2% um, professional mental health therapists
right.
that's in all 50 states, is only 2%. But we're talking about
2%.
2%. Now we're talking about 13% of our population. So
Right,
our goal is to offer scholarships, pair with banks, because we have two black banks, to provide tuition services or scholarships and try and direct or encourage students to pursue careers in health or in the healthcare field, especially where we're so underrepresented in those areas
right,
with the
right.
professional assistance.
Because I know from my knowledge of some therapists, they belong to different organizations, and that's where they get their support and find out what's the newest and the best of what's going on in that field too. So I mean, I think they provide scholarships. I want to say they do. They do provide some scholarships to students too. So that would be another opportunity for someone that's looking for, seeking a scholarship. I know teachers do. I knew in education, um, we definitely obviously believe in education, and we provide scholarships to students if they want to pursue education. That's an area, unfortunately, we're not finding a lot of Black students want to go into. It's
Yes,
so there's a
yeah,
need. We need Black teachers. I know my
yes.
Black teacher I was in the fourth grade. I've never forgotten her. And Mrs. Smith, if you're out there, hi. I have never forgotten Mrs. Smith because she said we can do whatever we would want to do. It was almost like a light bulb went off to hear her say that. But it was hearing it from a Black woman.
Yes, yes,
That's what it was.
yes,
And hearing her
yes,
tell me, even though I may have known it, but it was to hear her say it and to see
yes,
look like me saying it.
yes,
I don't think we understand how powerful that is, but it is very powerful. It really, really is. So I mean, I don't, just so you know, you're doing a service to so many people, Connie. I mean, I'm just glad to know you and to know that when God got their hearts, you listened. It may not have been easy, but you let it go. You still hung on in here.
I answered the call. You know what? And I just told him, guide my footsteps. Open the doors that need to be open. I'll walk the room. But as we talk more and more people are becoming aware that it exists.
Right.
It made the sleepless nights and that energy and that resistance. Right. It was like, okay, now I know why. I know why I had to persevere, because if this one thing in combination with everything else that the community is doing, you yourself, people that are out there watching, everybody is doing something within their own, selves or their own families or, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Collectively, we can affect some changes, because knowledge is definitely power. And if we have the knowledge that we need in order, to curate and uplift our own community, it's like, don't give me a doggone thing, give me the opportunity to do it myself.
We do have a comment here, and it was about, where are the Black banks located?
We have 42 Black banks, and they're not on the website now because we have to get the permission to link them. But if you go in and you type in Google 42 Black banks, they're all over the USA. All over.
Okay. And when I get the list of that, I'm definitely going to, those of you
and I will put that in your chat for you to go ahead and submit to them, because a couple of the banks had relocated, so some of the information wasn't accurate, and we didn't want to post that link until we got all the information current and active. So within the next week or so, please revisit, circle back to Black America Resource Directory, and it'll be posted under the Did You Know section.
Okay, definitely, because I know people that without a doubt would do business with them. But they
definitely.
I've heard of, I think is it one bank?
One bank. Yeah, one bank is here locally.
Yeah, I have.
It used to be Founders, and then it was one bank.
But to my knowledge, there's not one in the Inland Empire.
I don't believe it is. Not in the inland. I think it is in LA.
Yeah, but there's millions of people in the Inland Empire.
Yes. So and we're working on that as well. So like I said, we just started in December when we first released. So information that we're collecting that people are just like on your platform are asking about, we go back, we research it, and then we upload it and put it in our information. But we have to check it out first just to make sure. That everything is legit.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I know that, but I think I would say that there will be a need. So somebody may hear this. And I think there's a need here for that. I said there's millions between Riverside County, San Bernardino County. Oh, okay. Beverly was interested in the East Coast too. She was interested in the East Coast.
Hold on.
Okay.
And I may be able.
The thumbs up. And so let me also say right here, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, replay viewers. Those of you that are watching us on the replay and you're not able to watch it live, you mean just as much as just know that it's not, if you can't make it live, that's fine. I still appreciate you and appreciate you taking time to watch the show. I cannot tell you how much it means when you come out. And we have this, I guess, this commercial. For those of you coming in, we have Connie King. She's the founder of the Black American Resource Directory. And this is a directory that has, if you're looking for someone, a professional to do work or to serve as a professional, or you are a professional and you would like your profession listed, I had it scrolling across the bottom, and you can get in touch with Connie. Her name is Connie King. And she's the founder. Because if they go to the Black American Resource Directory, there's a way to contact you, correct, Connie?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can contact me, and in two different formats. If you're a resource provider, you can fill out the information to be added to the list. Or if you scroll down to the bottom, our email address is Black America Resource Directory at gmail.com. And the young lady that was asking about the banks, and I'll send you this list so you can send it out to those on the call.
Okay.
Alabama, we have Alaska, Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Kansas, Iowa. So we have Black banks in pretty much across the USA.
Yes. Okay.
So I'll send you this list.
Okay.
Okay. Right now, I have it under finder.com.
Okay.
Black-owned banks.
Got it. And
I'll go ahead and put that in the chat.
So those of you that are looking for a Black bank, is if you're in the IE, the nearest one to us is in the Los Angeles area, and it's called One Bank. So those of you that are local, it doesn't include credit unions that may be considered Black credit unions, but that's another topic for another day. But still, I just want to let you know, if you're looking for a Black bank, it would be One Bank in Los Angeles.
And they also have Broadway Federal Bank.
In the LA area?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Make sure we get those two down. Okay. But those of you that are on the email list, if you want to know how to stay informed, there is an email list, and you go to marydwelch.com and you can join the email list and you will get emails. Some of you may say I emailed just a little too much. So now I'm kind of reducing it a little bit. But my thing is, if there's information to go out to the community, that's the goal. And I try to send information I want to know about. That's another thing. I try to send that kind of information to you. So it's something pertinent to what was going on. Oh, thank you. I don't know if you guys see that up on the screen. If you're interested. Okay, and I'm going to go over here and double check and put this back up. Okay. And there was another comment. Oh, she said, great information. Thank you for that, Beverly. We definitely
thank you.
Because she said you must be on the East Coast, Beverly. That must be that must be why. But that's okay, and we appreciate you, Beverly. Even though if you're on the East Coast, you don't have to be in California. As we know, when you're talking the internet, you're talking to the world. We're not talking to any one part of the country. Well, let me ask you this, Connie. What are your plans for the future?
Well, what I would like to do is use the Black America Resource Directory as a prototype. And as I indicated, we know that we have zip codes, the capability of zip codes across all 50 states. So we already have resources in those particular zip codes. Right. And what our goal is now is, like you said, is to either direct or make sure that people can find information. I'll give you an example. We had a social worker out of Oregon. Mm-hmm. She was working with a family. It was a Caucasian family who had adopted an African-American teenager. The young lady was 14 years of age, mm-hmm. and they wanted to get her in a position where she could start learning her own culture about right. herself as a young lady. And they were looking for resources to help them, either like a mentor type of program. Mm-hmm. Well, there was nothing in Oregon within that zip code that even addressed African American issues or services for teenagers. Mm-hmm. So lo and behold, we had someone on our directory, and they had a young teenage girl program, and it was called for self-esteem. It's called Coaching Young Girls. Right. And we were able to connect them to the two of them. The social worker in Oregon emailed us and said, thank you, because that's exactly what the family was needed. She was happy because she was here in California, but she was able to help someone and then make that connection. So now she's providing mentor services. So this young lady at 14 can get some self-esteem and know about who she is.
Oh.
So what we'd like to do is just continue to expand and get the resources to be a go-to directory, kind of almost like the yellow pages. When you
Right.
went to the yellow pages, you know, from A to Z, you were going to find something,
Right.
you know, someone in there. And that's kind of like our goal. The other expansion part of that
Mm-hmm.
is to use the prototype and invite other cultures like the Asian culture or the Hispanic culture to utilize the same platform and services, but it will look like them. Our resource directory look like us. It would look like them and
Mm-hmm.
represent their culture. So
Right.
that's another expansion program that we are taking a look at.
Okay. This is I just love everything I'm hearing. You
I'm
said
just glad for the opportunity.
so you're saying so are you working with people in those other cultures, or you did that's what you're moving toward to work?
That's what we're moving towards. We wanted to make sure that the Black America Resource Directory was
Mhm.
up and running, and we had worked out all the bugs pretty
Right.
much before we would use it as a prototype to
Right.
extend that to someone else. We people ask that same question, well, why is it just for Black people? Because our experiences are unique. You know,
Yes.
the mothers especially, we're facing our sons and our daughters being
Right.
killed, and we know that fathers are feel just the same amount of pain, but it's
Right.
something about that mother. I was able to get through to my son to have
Mhm.
him and kind of steer him back in the right direction. So
Right.
our experiences are unique within themselves,
Right.
um,
Right.
as Black mothers. So
Well, I can
I
tell you.
wanted us to start with us because that's where my experience was.
Right. Well, with where I don't have to tell you there's a need. The need is great, and you're getting the feedback is telling you you're going in the right direction. I haven't heard
Yes.
anything say you're not.
Yay.
I haven't heard one thing that said you're not going in the right direction. So that's telling
Thank you.
you that that this was for you, that this was for you to do, and it was there waiting. Saying, Connie, Connie.
Yeah, call him out there, girl. Like, is this a monster or what?
but I, but
Oh,
I
Jesus.
think that's wonderful because, like I said, you keep getting affirmed. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
That's what I like about it. You keep getting affirmed in it so you don't have to even question if it's the right direction. The people are telling you it's
Yes.
the direction. They're
Yeah.
telling you, and they're telling you thank you. And I'm definitely telling you thank you that you because you just keep moving and keep taking those steps because your steps are ordered, as you
And
know.
they are.
Uh-huh.
And Mary, nothing happens by chance. And we talked about nothing happens by accident. There was no accident that I was trying to get in contact with Miss Mary about the Civil Rights Center, joined the group, became part of
Uh-huh.
the group, met you. We've had discussions.
Yes.
So ordering my steps is also ordering your steps because had you not listened to your calling, I wouldn't be able to be here and the viewers wouldn't be able to be enjoying and learning about the projects that we're working on. So I want to say thank you to you as well.
You're welcome. You are so well. I'm honored every time I hit the go live button. I feel I'm honored that people would take the time that they want to come to the show and listen. And I try to bring something quality to the community. That's my goal. So that's telling you who you are, that we're giving something back to people. And I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like celebrities like anybody else, but I like people like yourself that people may not always get a chance to know.
Yes.
that means a lot to me that
Yeah.
that you can come on and introduce this to people. And we, like I said before, we don't know where this where the show is going to go. But one thing we know, we are introducing it to somebody that didn't know about it, and that means they can tell someone else about it, and that means
Yes.
it can only grow.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And that's our goal. How do we do that? And so I appreciate you coming on today. I really do.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you to the audience for allowing me to present. And hopefully, I did it in a manner where it made sense.
Oh, you did fine.
We talked about bobblehead. I still feel like my head is bobbing, but the words are
Oh no,
sincere.
you're doing just excellent. We have Martha wants to know, is there a contact number that they can?
Yes, yes, there is. And if Martha is on the call, I'll go ahead and put my immediate contact. The information that's on the site is our business number. But if it's something that you want to talk to me about, Martha, and I don't know if this is something that I can chat it out, Mary, or send it directly to Martha, or how
Let's
does that
see.
work?
If you want me to, I can put it in and it can scroll across the bottom if that's what you would like. It depends
Okay.
if it's okay with you, or you want to use
Sure.
want to use the office number?
Well. The office number. It's easier to contact me on my cell number in platforms like this. When it's
Okay.
out in the kind of like the general public, if it wasn't kind of a format.
Okay.
And let me go ahead and give that to you. Or do you have it? You have it, right?
No, no.
Okay.
Want to give it to me? I'm gonna put it in right now. It's gonna scroll across the bottom. It's nine. It's 951 though, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Let's see. So it'll come up.
Okay.
And as she's giving me that number, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind. Okay, I'm going to put it in right now. So everybody, if you need to contact Connie, here is her cell phone number. And I'll put it in for you. And those of you that do so, just know as just if you need whatever it is that you're contacting her for, whether it's you're the person that needs the assistance, or you know someone, or you like to become part of the directory, please contact her, and that way she knows
Definitely.
spending this time with us this afternoon has been a good thing.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I'm gonna scroll it. Here we go. It should be there. Is that good? Is that coming across now? I can't tell.
Let me see.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, now it is.
Got it. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure. So those of you like to get in touch with her. Oh, so do you ever? There it goes. Right across the bottom is her telephone number. It's a 951 area code. So give her a call. Let her know if you need if you need the resources or you would like to resource.
Yeah.
Then please do either one of those things. And she would love to have you on either side of that, I'm sure. That's what
Definitely.
I'm here for. I know too. I want to make sure those that are interested in the other different directories that Connie is talking about. And she said the ones for the, I guess, Latinx community, any of the Native Americans. What's the name? It was
Asian Americans,
Asian American. I think
Pacific
it was
Islanders.
Indigenous, but any of those, if you'd like to contact her, because they're working on creating directories for those
Definitely.
ethnicities also. So she definitely is reaching out now. So you don't have to say, what about other ethnicities? She's saying right now they're welcoming those ethnicities, yes. And they would like to help start a directory that's also going to benefit those communities. So take some time, ladies and gentlemen. This lady is saying, there's a lot we can do working together. Why
Definitely.
not support each other as we're going on? Because we're going to do business with someone. That's a fact. You're going to do business. You're going to go to support. But she's saying we have a directory here. At least take a look at it and see if it's something that can be of service to you, or you can refer somebody else.
Definitely.
It's a referral. So I can tell you, Connie, without a doubt, and I'm sure you're gonna get people. I don't doubt that for a minute. Somebody's not or say,
oh, excuse me, sorry.
That's fine. I know somebody that can use the directory without no doubt in my mind, for sure, for sure. And we're definitely we're going to list our show. We've got to be in there. We got
Definitely.
to tell people that
Definitely.
to check in with us on Mondays, because our goal is to be every day live, 1 o'clock, as the byline says, those who know watch the Mary D show. So
Yeah.
one of our sons helped come up with that.
They're very good.
So thank you. I tell you, they between my husband and children and friends, I wouldn't be able to do this without them. They have been, without a doubt, and many times holding me up and saying,
Yes.
"Yeah, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Keep staying in there for sure." But now yours is everything is all electronic, right? On your directory.
Yes, it's a virtual online platform.
Okay.
Everything from time to time, just like with the BNC interview, we do have the ability, of course, to post videos. And the main thing is that we didn't want it kind of cluttered. We wanted to make sure that
Mhm.
the information that was contained on there was useful, was helpful, it was immediate access. We know that everyone is not always in a crisis situation.
Right.
Sometimes you may just kind of want to be looking to explore. So we had some fun facts like, did you know? Um,
Mhm.
those kind of, and that will change out constantly in terms of that. And as we add new providers, the design may change just a tad bit,
Mhm.
but keep it in line with the Black community. And that is our ultimate goal, is to make sure that we can provide the services that are needed to our community.
Right. And I like I said, you're doing a wonderful job. Just keep, and that's only going to expand.
Yes.
Like think about this is like you said, we're in infancy. This is just the beginning. So
Yes.
we get bigger.
You know,
I know.
we're gonna keep it under 17 million, though. I'm gonna tell you that. We'll keep those resources under 17 million, because it's like, Lord Jesus, I was just overwhelmed and didn't know where to go. With 17 million, where do you start? And it took 4 days to find it. No, sometimes our needs are immediate and we got to address them as
Right,
well.
right, right. Oh, I know, but it's still the fact that it still was there. It's just that, like you said, finding it, locating it.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put this back on the bottom, and that is the website. Let me do it right now for you, because I want you to be able to go there. Here we go. Yeah, start scrolling there. I want to make sure that anyone, if you and let me just say this: you do not have to be Black or African American
Yes.
directory.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I just want to add that because I know it's not saying anything negative against someone who isn't. It's just saying if that's what you would like to do, this directory is there for you. But
Yes.
anyone can use the directory.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome to use the
Definitely.
directory. So I
Definitely.
keep that in mind. And I like to say to Connie, thank you for coming on today. We here at the Mary D Show appreciate you, and we appreciate the work that you're doing. And as you had said, going forward, that I will end up having a section.
Yes. Yeah. So in the Did You Know section, you have provided some amazing information, educational, beneficial, helpful. And what I wanted to do is get your permission, which I have,
Yes.
is to post that information under our Did You Know section
Right.
and have a tag that said Mary's Corner. And that can point back to your shows, maybe some
Right.
archive shows. But
Mhm.
like I said, there is a space and a platform where we can provide the information, because that information that you are sharing is definitely valuable
Thank you.
information. As a matter of fact, we had the Queen of England on there, and you had also provided that
Yes.
information. So those great minds were thinking alike on
Yes.
that one.
I think I've had so many comments about that. Some people have actually had emails that said, "I never knew this. I
Yes.
this. I haven't seen this in a textbook. You just be amazed. And it's been interesting to see that, and really, but it warms my heart that people are taking the information in and sharing it. I have
Yes.
sharing it on their jobs. I have people emailing me back and say, I'm telling my kids and my grandkids.
Yes.
It has been, it's touched my heart. Let me just tell you the truth. It has touched my heart to know that all these years, even though I've been educating in the classroom, now my email list has become the classroom. But I'm just glad to share it. That's really what it is. I'm glad to share it. But I'd like to thank you for coming on today, Connie.
I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, today, this was our show for today. We are ending our show at exactly 2 o'clock. Thank you for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you. And I'll see you again next Monday. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.